So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about organization. Now, when you get started as a brand new coach, you are more than likely feeling a little overwhelmed, a lot of information coming at you in a very short amount of time, and you might feel like you have all of these things to do, but you really don't know where to start, and you aren't sure like what to do number one, number two, number three every single day. So in this video, I hope that you feel a little bit more organized after watching it, and I hope that you can start to apply some of these tips to your business and even to your life right now as soon as possible, so that you can feel more like you are accomplishing more in a shorter amount of time versus feeling so scattered and not knowing what activity you should be focusing on and what the heck you should be doing. So I want to talk to you about 3 areas of your business that I feel like are really important to master at getting organized. And once you can do this and discipline yourself to organize these areas of your business, it's going to feel like less stress and more focus is going into the actual time that you're spending away from your kids, your husband, your friends. So number 1, getting organized with your space is super important. And what I'm talking about is having a space, having a place that you can call your workspace, that it is where you are least distracted. It is where you can focus. It's quiet time. It's time that you can sit down and feel like a professional and feel like this is a real business and what you're doing is real work. Speaking from experience, for the last 3 years, I have worked my business from my couch. I've built a successful business from my couch, which has been fine, but I can honestly tell you that because of that has enabled me to lose focus on doing the most important things every single day. I still might get it done, but it takes me this much more time versus that small window of time that I really need to focus on what's important. Sitting down at your computer and opening Facebook, or on your phone and opening Facebook from your couch, or you're hanging at the table, kitchen table, that doesn't feel real, and it doesn't feel like work, and it doesn't feel like you are focused, and then that's where your mind starts to wander. And so it's super important for you to designate a space that you can work from. It doesn't have to be a big space. It can be as simple as, a small little desk that fits your laptop or a book or two. I had a coach that took a closet that she wasn't using and made it into an office space. She took everything out, put a desk in there, and took the doors off, and that was her office. That was her little space that she could work at. I have a space downstairs that is away from my family, and yeah, it's like, oh, I have to go all the way downstairs, but discipline yourself. You have to get over those little things of, well, I don't really want to make a space. I'm fine working from my couch. I promise you that's not fine, and I promise you that you will find sitting from your couch or sitting at the kitchen table, you don't feel like it's real, and then that's when it turns into a hobby, and then that's when you feel guilty taking time away from your family because you're not actually accomplishing anything and you're not actually moving forward with your work. Instead, it is playing on Facebook. It's not real, and when it doesn't feel real, we don't take it seriously, and we don't discipline ourselves to do the work that we need to and the activity to move forward. And when you treat it like a real business, it's going to pay you back like one. So number 2, organize your time. Now, what I suggest doing is getting one of those big, huge desk calendars that, big, businesses and offices have, and you can get them for free. They give them out if you go and ask for one. And I suggest getting one of those big ones, making a little key at the top and highlighting the different areas of your life. Now, I would never ask my coaches to schedule their Beachbody business first because that's not realistic. What's most important to me personally, what's most important to me is my husband and my son, my family. So I schedule that time first. So if I'm doing that, I'm going to ask my coaches to do that. This business and your coaching activity and your clients and your customers and your challenge groups and your coaches are not your number one priority in your life, right? We work this, most of us, as a side job. Most of us are working full-time, whether you are working full-time from home or full-time outside of the home. So scheduling your family time and what's most important, maybe you don't have, kids, maybe you're not married, but what's most important to you? What is your number one priority? That is super important. Maybe that's going, spending time with your parents or your siblings. Schedule that time first. Everything that involves your kids, your husband, extracurricular activities with your kids, date nights, things like that, that comes number one. Then number two is your workout and the time that it takes, to make your shakes. So whether that's in the morning, I'm going to spend 15 minutes having breakfast, schedule that time out because that's number one. If we're not being products of the products, no one else that you talk to is going to do it either. Then number three, schedule your Beachbody time. What time of the day, how long are you going to dedicate to working your business? So what we teach you is called a power hour, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit with scheduling our activity, but schedule out that time. I'm very visual, so that helps me see and visualize my whole week, my whole month, so that I can go back in and I can plug in my time that I'm going to spend on my business and building my business. Now, sometimes that is at 4 o'clock in the morning because my family is sleeping and I just got up to feed my son and I'm wide awake. So that might be a half hour of work right there. It might be late at night at 11 o'clock because my family's gone to bed and my son is down for the night and I will not be distracted with anything. So what works for you, you have to figure that out, and you have to discipline yourself to schedule that time, because if you leave it up to chance, it is 9 o'clock at night and you haven't showered, you've barely eaten supper, your kids might need help with homework and you might be doing a science project for them while they're in bed, and it might be late at night and you're thinking, oh shoot, I didn't reach out to anybody today. I didn't invite anybody today to a challenge group. I didn't work my business. I didn't do my personal development. And then the day is gone. And then that starts to become a habit because we're not disciplining our time. We teach you how to do a power hour, but if you're a busy mom like me, a full-time job is being a mom in itself, on top of running a business and being a wife and a friend and still having a life. I like to call them power 10s or power 15s. When I was working my full-time job, I took 20 minutes on my lunch hour, and let your spouse know what's going on. If you don't let him know what's going on and you're hopping on your phone, or on your laptop or going to your workspace, and he has no clue what you're doing or what you're working towards or why you're doing it, then that resentment starts to build and he just thinks that you're taking time away, or your boyfriend or whoever, or your kids even, they can feel that you're taking time away from them, and what you're really doing is you're honoring your time by scheduling it. So let your family know what's going on. Hey, this is mom time. I need 20 minutes and then we will play. Then, we'll head out for our date night. And number three, organize your activity. And this is what I was talking about with power hour. We teach you exactly what to do in 1 hour, what's most important. So that's another training video that we'll share. But what's most important is always inviting. That's number one. Number two is being a product of the product. And then number three is your personal development. So within that power hour, you are inviting people. That first chunk is reaching out to people, adding names to that master list that you have of people, inviting people to your challenge groups to take a look at the coaching opportunity, to just reach out to people and break the ice. Hey, Joe, I haven't talked to you in a while. How's it going? Or, hey, Sally, I saw you had a family vacation that you just went on. How was that? Just reaching out to people and and starting those conversations and starting to build those relationships. And then, you might take 10 minutes or 20 minutes to do your personal development and read audio, listening to a podcast, anything like that, watching a training video. And then the other half is, the other part of your hour is following up with people that have reached out to you or that you have reached out with. I know exactly what I'm going to do when I sit down. The very first time that I sit down in the day to work my business, it's going to be inviting. Because if you always have outgoing and you always have invites, you're always going to have follow-ups. You're always going to have incoming. So just remember that. You have to get your time organized in your life. Otherwise, no one else is going to respect your time. You're going to feel scattered. You're going to feel like, what the heck is going on? And how am I supposed to fit all this in? I'm so busy. I don't have time for this. Yes, you do. We all have 24 hours in a day. It's just a matter of how you choose to use it.